I'm your ice cream man, baby. Stop me when I'm passing by.
We are in a new location, undisclosed.
Still undisclosed, but we don't want to be predictable. So, although Max is predictably here, and I'm rubbing on him right now, but we don't want to be predictable. So we want to change things up for you. But we are still Hairspray.
And Harleys? Oh, yeah. Harleys and Hairspray. I'm like, where's he going with this? Where is he going?
First the Harleys, then the Hairspray.
Yeah.
Forgive me, it's been a long day. I'm rolling on 3 hours sleep, so I want to tell you.
Really?
Really?
What should
but
I ask?
I'm high functioning. No, it's all creative pursuits.
Okay, well,
And
yeah.
a little bit of dating, but mostly creative pursuits.
Okay.
Okay, but which dating in and of itself is a creative pursuit.
That is totally creative, yeah.
I have to tell you the story of what I'm doing this week. And what I'm doing this week reminds me of why we do this and how sumptuous and delicious and succulent just this whole process is. So I'm working as a composer with choreographers and dancers at a summer intensive. The summer intensive is being put on by a major dance company which performs and tours and etc. They will be unnamed unless they want to sponsor the show, of course. But anyway, they're wonderful people. And so they're hosting a summer intensive for dancers that want to come in and vie for company jobs and be professional dancers.
So it's not necessarily competitive, but there's an awareness of possibility in the room.
That's right. I really need to stand out because you never know.
That in itself is its own show. But we'll go there. Okay, carry on with the succulents.
Absolutely. And so it's a week-long audition.
Okay.
And each day is filled with classes, choreographic workshops, of multidisciplinary dance. There's ballet, there's jazz, there's modern. So they see different instructors, different choreographers, different music makers. So I'm delighted to be plugged into this, but it really feels like an episode of Fame. I was telling you this just as I came into our Undisclosed. There is so much optimism and nervous energy, but also the sense of homecoming. These people have come here from all over the world, and when they step into the studio, it feels like home. Being an artist, there's something about being an artist when you step into your place, no matter where it is in the world, it feels like home. So for quite a while, I had a chapter where I was a university professor teaching music. And I could step into any music building in any university music department anywhere in the world and it would resonate the same way. I know what happens here. I know what the work is that I need to do. And it feels, none of this is alien. I can predict how the day will unfold and what its rhythm is going to be. So it's amazing to have people from St. Petersburg, Russia. I met a fellow from Dallas, somebody else from Montreal, from all over the world, and it's the same. It's this completely optimistic, giving myself over to the craft. Everything's behind me, paying for the intensive and the airfare and finding an Airbnb, and all of the headaches are behind me. And now I'm in a space and I just chase my craft, and I chase it with all of my people. All of these people from all over the world are my people. So I'm safe to truly be myself, and and I will make it safe for all of these people to be themselves. And they are learning, and they are hungry, and they are thoroughbreds. They are 18, 19, 20, 25-year-old thoroughbreds.
Dancers.
And filled with so much potential, but they don't know. Many of them don't know that they're thoroughbreds. There's just this unbridled, you see a stallion, right? And it's built for running, and it's stunning when it runs. It excels. That is its role. It is built for that by Mother Nature. And it's free, and it can only do one thing, but it does it impeccably. Full mastery and grace, and it's just exquisite. All of these kids are these stallion thoroughbreds, but they're so young, and there's an anxiety and a nervousness, and I just wanted them to be, just exist in the moment, which is easy for us to say because we're Yes.
Yes.
We're in those latter stages, or we're not where they are now. They're in discovery and self-questioning and, oh, what does it all mean? How do we define? Just be. Just be, and it's so beautiful. So I'm sitting there behind the piano and I'm seeing the light. Everybody has light in their eyes. And everybody's the best in their area. You know how the best songwriter from Tulsa and Little Rock, Arkansas, and they all go to LA,
Oh, yes, yes.
and they were the
yes.
best in their town.
Yes, yes.
But now they're in LA where they're just at the bottom of a new totem pole.
Yeah.
They're used to being the best.
Yeah.
And now they're being humbled and they're very critical and they're hypersensitive and alert, but they're built for this. So just be. Just be and love it. I wish I could talk to all of them and have just 30 seconds. Well, I'm so long-winded, 30 seconds would never do. But I wish I could just explain
You're
to them.
lovingly long-winded, though. You care so deeply.
This is true. I would just tell them to enjoy this. This never comes back. Stepping in for the first time never happens a second time. And it's so important. So I was waiting for you a little bit at your undisclosed location. And I was looking at the ocean and I was transfixed by the notion of just being. Because we are of nature. We are of this place. We're not in competition. We're not in conflict. And I love that I'm at an age where I have full acceptance of being part of the fabric, not trying to weave my own thing and force it into an already perfect fabric. It's already perfect. Art's already perfect. The conflict's already perfect. The struggle's already perfect. The result's already perfect. It'll never be ideal because we're always struggling to make it better and tweak. But the fact that it is the perfection. And so being in that room, I'm in my third day, and there's a part of me that's 19 again and new and born again as an artist. And there's a part of me as an old sage on a mountain stroking my beard. And the duplicity of that is not lost on me. I'm so blessed to be able to see and feel the youth because I felt it, and also see the acceptance and the gift that is, that only comes with time, only an experience, because you've done that. And I'm loving my days through these people, through these young thoroughbreds. And so the reason I'm sharing this is because I'm hoping that the newness that they're feeling in that studio is a newness that we can rediscover. No matter what phase we're at as artists, wouldn't it be wonderful to start our day off with this kind of meditation of, I'm brand new to this today. Instead of, what am I going to do today? How am I going to make something out of nothing? And all of the questioning. What if I just show up? And if I show up, it shows up. The craft shows up. What do you do to stay fresh? What do you do to stay new? What do you do to not be in conflict daily with what you're creating?
Are you asking me that?
This is an interrogative question demanding a response. What do you do to remain new? What do you do to remain fresh? And what do you do to not be in conflict with the craft that you love? Because sometimes we are in conflict and we have to wrestle it to the ground to get it to where we think it needs to go, and we force feed it.
Well, I'm not you. And what I mean by that is...
You're way prettier and a flowing dress looks much more magnificent on you. But yes, you're definitely not me.
What I mean by that is that fighting for my craft thing, I don't believe in it.
Oh.
And I get it. Like, I get it as, I really do. Like, I really get that fighting for your craft can be really motivating, and it can be an access point in. it can also be a great way to keep reaching for for to keep expanding. But for me, that has never worked for me. Like that whole fighting for it thing, or I certainly believe in chasing. Don't get me wrong. I believe in chasing. I'm all about chase the story, chase the thing. I can smell something. I got to go find it. Like I'm all about chasing. So for me, that freshness thing, so that I don't fight it, is kind of a meh. It's not even a thing. I don't have to fight. But freshness for me is about. It's about, gosh, what is it? I think it's about, there's something beautiful about naivete.
Mm-hmm.
There's something beautiful, and not just beautiful, there's something exquisite, frankly, about that naive place. And I think that art is different from that place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is worth fighting for, if you will. Like that's worth going, fuck off life and all of your demands on my time. Like this Saturday morning, no one's getting to me.
That's right.
Right? Like, sometimes I will do this thing. Like I know I'm going to be tired and I should go to bed at 10:30. I'm like, I don't care. I'm putting 3 hours. I'm having the longest bath ever with the smelliest things, and having that extra whiskey or whatever. Like just kind of, sometimes I'll play the game of 28 just to remind me that I can, and I'll push a little bit, not all the time, because then you have a problem, but every once in a while, I'll like, no. In fact, you know what I love, what I want to do one day, which I haven't done. I want, like, it's in my bucket list of, at some point in my life, I want to spend 3 months without time, like no clocks, like nothing, and see what that feels like. Because
so you want me to take you to Vegas?
Well, no, that's a different thing, but that's awesome too, right? Is it day? Is it night? I'm eating chicken and waffles. What time is it?
I don't know.
How did this happen?
It's morning. I'm drunk. I don't. Because it's irrelevant. There's
right?
no definition.
It's true.
Yeah. No, but I understand that.
You know where I'm going, right?
Absolutely.
Because again, there's a it's not quite naive, but there's a quality of the. Like, do you remember being 19 when time didn't matter? Like, time just, you thought differently. You did different things because of that. Yeah,
there were no constructs. They were different. They were much more malleable. Everything was possible. Yeah. Now we tell ourselves different stories.
Yeah. And the art is different. And we have to fight for me, to get beyond the constructs. That's a great way of describing it. Yeah. It is like, I have to fight to get out of the constructs.
I remember the freedom of graduating high school, and I looked at the world and I thought, wow, everything's at my feet. Where do I go? I mean, I knew it would call to me, so I'm really glad that I had a path. But there is a moment of, I can do anything, and I might just do everything. Right? That feeling is incredible, and it's real, and it elevates you. It's incredible.
Let's play there a bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that we have a lot of 19-year-olds watching us.
Or spiritual 19-year-olds.
Spiritual 19-year-olds, yes. Let's play in the I could do everything. And what does it take for whatever age you're at, but to hold on to that everything space where you're going to say yes. You're going to chase the art. That's, to me, where I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole, like, art. When nothing's off the table, art is possible. I was going to pull that back with sometimes, no, I'm going to just explore there.
So the great director, Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, yes.
Who's done so many, the oceans and the traffic. And there was one year, I think in 2013, when he was nominated for 2 movies out of the 5, the movie of the year. He was nominated for 2 Oscars in one category.
Was that not Traffic?
Traffic, and he had another movie that was nominated at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the great Steven Soderbergh started in the mailroom, and he was also composing jingles. Huh. We don't know him as a jingle composer.
No.
We don't know him as a mailroom intern. He started as a young man thinking, I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try this. And now we know him to be one of the most idiosyncratic voices in movie making as a director. Kind of like Tarantino. When you see a Soderbergh movie, he's got a tone, he's got a voice. That's one of the jingles he composed, in fact.
For my oven.
25 years ago.
And look,
he composed oven music.
And it went on when my WhatsApp went on at the same time.
Okay, that's incredible. So there's something.
Wow.
But when I think when you take the approach of anything's possible and everything's possible, you take on the approach of a child. Don't you think we're missing that childlike? Perfect example. As a parent, for those of you not 19 who are watching, as a parent, you try hockey and you try baseball and you try knitting and you try clay making and you give your children 30 different things to try.
Yeah.
Maybe within 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And you take them to a fortnight camp or all sorts of, right? Mountain climbing, rock climbing, laser dome. And many of those things don't stick. But the things that do stick. So,
wow.
In that spirit, I would love to remain the kind of human that thinks everything is possible. I am a 7-year-old and I'm trying 5 different arts, 5 different sports, a couple of different clubs, because I want to taste everything so that I can really, really make a commitment to the 1 or 2 things that are my things. But I only know they're my things after trying the cross section and with its full breadth and with the full offering potential of all of the things. So I think it's so great to have the spirit of I can do everything, because that, number one, it feels effervescent in every way. It's just effusive, right? But beyond that, it's when I try everything, I realize the things that aren't mine. And trying everything funnels me into the things that are completely mine. How do I know they're mine? Because I've tried I know what the not mine tastes like, feels like. So now I have no what ifs about that. And I could solely focus on what is mine. In fairness, what is mine, the my things, will evolve over time, may change.
Yeah.
Just like friendships are situational.
Yeah.
For that chapter of your life. So, but in every chapter, I think that discovery of I can do everything, so I could find the specifics in everything that are my specifics. That's the juice for me.
I love that. And I'm going, it's so funny how same and opposite we are.
Tell me more.
What I notice about me, maybe I'm just a contrary person. Maybe that's what it is.
You're just a contrarian?
And maybe I'm just
That's
a contrarian. Great. I don't know. Because, I am a Capricorn. So and it doesn't mean I'm stubborn, but I am like rooted. I'm like, I'm on this mountain. Just try to get me off. Just try.
2 of my very favorite people are Capricorns. You're one of them, I guess.
Very nice.
You're one of my favorite people. My son is my other. But I also have a favorite Sagittarian.
I'm up there. Well, there's a lot of signs.
Anyway.
Okay.
So as a Capricorn, the contrarian Capricorn.
The contrarian. There's something about, so it's funny, when I am saying yes to all the things and I'm exploring all the things, I find things that are, yes, this is mine, but I also find the things that are not mine. And what I find about the things that are not mine is that 3 months later, I am pulling that thing that is not mine out of my back pocket and using it in something. It's like I may not chase that skill of the thing that's not mine, but that exposure to that thing that's so opposite to me that I would never do that ends up being this perspective that I can now weave in. Because when how we talked about in one of these conversations that tension is everything. In art. Yes. And I think the things that are not mine are often the threads of tension that I will pull into something that I'm writing, because it's not a perspective that I have. It might not even be, it might be something, oh, look at that big heron. Oh my gosh.
That's incredible.
like a Christmas tree. Oh,
He's like the star on the
he's
top
like
of
the
Christmas, and
star.
he's huge, and he's right on the top of
Oh
that.
my gosh.
That's incredible. That's truly incredible. And he's not alone.
And now there's a raven. There's a
That
raven and a heron side by side on a tree,
that is impeccable.
like stars, like the star of a tree. Imagine that, a heron and a raven. So one of us is the heron and one of us is the raven.
One of them was probably a Capricorn. The Raven's probably a contrarian Capricorn.
Yeah, I think I'm the raven. That makes you the heron.
There you go.
Wow. That's incredible. We would move the screen and take a picture, but I think we'd lose it. You're just going to have to trust us on this one.
It is captivating.
Yeah,
But-
it really is.
Yes.
So,
There goes the raven.
There goes the raven! Signaling it's time to carry on with our conversation. Wow. So, yes, tension,
Mhm.
the things that are not mine, I end up weaving in to something.
Mhm. Yeah, you make me think of the moon and the light. When we think of the moon, we think of the moon. Oh, half moon, crescent moon. Why don't we ever give credit to the sun, which is the light that we see reflected on the moon? The moon has no light of its own. It has no personality of its own. We allocate its personality to it because of the sun light shining on it and reflecting back to us. So it's the things that we don't necessarily see that sometimes can be the most impactful. It's the things that you discard that you may find the greatest usage for because they're not part of your habit.
Yes.
We're so busy working in the consonants, but it's the tension that makes the consonants have meaning.
Yes.
So it's the sunlight that makes the moon have a personality. I think we must explore everything, because even the things, exactly like you said, even the things that you don't choose, you learn from and pull from
Yeah.
to make the things you do choose more sound,
Yes.
more formidable.
Yes. Yes.
That's the shiz right there.
That's the shiz. Can I say that word?
And why I think
Is
we just did.
that a bad word?
Snoop Dogg! That's the shiz!
That's the shiz.
Right there.
Oh my God.
No, that's exactly right. So your approach is everything every day.
Yeah. I'm pretty eclectic.
Aren't you overwhelmed by that?
I'm not.
Hmm.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm trying to think of what overwhelms me. What does overwhelm me? Well, we've talked about this. I cry every day. Sometimes,
No, I'm sorry.
I cry every day. It's
For real?
For real. Like something will make me cry. And it can be beautiful. It can be painful. It can be Sinead O'Connor. I listened to a lot of Sinead yesterday because, of course, she died yesterday, right? And anyway, a whole other conversation, but that made me cry. And so sometimes I can be overwhelmed by emotion, and when I'm actually engulfed in emotion, the only thing I can do is let it roll out, because I can't create when I'm in it like that.
That's a hard life.
You think?
Crying every day.
Oh, it's not crying bad. It's beautiful. Sometimes it's crying. Sometimes it's crying.
But I'm sure you look at me and you say, because we're different, and I look for the struggle, you think that must be a hard life. Oh, it's probably because he's Russian, Ukrainian, and you struggle for your craft, and if it's not a
Right.
struggle, then it's worthless, and you might as well adopt a bear and make him your pet, because what else are you gonna do with your life, right? Train him for the circus. That might be easier than being an artist for your life, but you have to struggle. There's no struggle, no meaning. That's what I say. But yeah, so that may be alien to you. I wonder how many of these things are cultural. I mean, Sinead's Irish, which
Mm.
speaks to your fabric,
Yeah.
obviously, right? So I wonder how much of what we do is driven by our cultural makeup. My need to struggle, your need to connect. Like I don't really have a need to connect. I do have a need to struggle. Well, moreover, I have a need to show people how much I'm struggling. Do you see the size of my big struggle for my art? I hope you see how much I'm struggling because I'm very significant in my struggle. Right?
And
It's,
I'm like, I hope you see how moved I am by my art. I hope you see how committed and devoted and how much I listen and how connected I am to my art and that you value that.
yes. You show up for your art.
I do.
I kick the crap out of it.
You
I'm
can-
like, hey,
Yeah.
all right, we have a couple of different approaches, but the point is we're both, I think, dedicated to the same extent.
Yeah. So, listener, we've talked about today that beautiful 19-year-old, 19, 20, 21-year-old fresh anxiety and hope and the beauty in that space. And I just want to remind people where we started, which was that just be.
Just be. Key message.
Just be. And then we had this beautiful visitation from the heron and the raven and talked about tension and finding the thing that's yours and also playing with the things that aren't yours. And now here. Yeah.
So the question, as we leave this particular episode, do you show up daily and how do you keep it fresh and how do you keep it new and what's your struggle? And does there have to be a struggle? Can you just be? Do you give yourself permission to just be? I think you should. But I also know that it's hard just being if you're not ready, or if you're not ready to just release your judgment and release yourself. You have to give yourself permission.
You're starting
to just,
another episode.
You have to. So, do you give yourself permission to just be? Because I'm going to give myself permission to just be quiet. Just be ... quiet.
Just be. I think it's just breathe, right? That's a song. Just breathe.
Beautiful
just
Faith
be.
Hill.
All right. Till next time.
Later.
Oh, we just pieced
We
out.
pieced
We just
out
did
together.
that.
Stereo piece.
I'm your ice cream, my baby.